I'm Matt with Mainstreet Medina. Welcome to another edition of Medina Minute. We're going to sit down and talk with some familiar faces from around town and learn a little bit more about them. Welcome to another edition of Medina Minute. We're here with Colleen Rice from Leadership Medina County. Colleen, thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
It's a pleasure.
How long have you been with Leadership as director?
So 8 years.
Oh gosh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was
longer
like 5
than
years.
you thought. I know.
It is.
I know this face is just sort of youthful.
It's ageless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
8 years. Holy cats. How did you end up in Medina? Are you from here? Are you transplant?
So no, I'm not from here. I wasn't born here. I was actually born in Kittery, Maine. Kittery? Yeah, like a kitten.
It sounds like a
yes.
location for a Stephen King novel.
Yeah, definitely in Maine.
Right.
But it was all good. There was no Stephen Kingish with it.
Right.
So my dad was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And we lived in New Hampshire, but the base and the hospital were in Maine.
Oh, okay.
So I was living in New Hampshire, born in Maine. And
so you're confused from the get-go.
I was very confused from the get-go, yes. But I got my love for travel and got my love for, exploring things and learning about things because my dad was in the Air Force. We spent time in Alaska and Indiana and, And then he decided he wanted to come back to Ohio and get out of the military. My parents were from Ohio. They were from the Columbus area.
Okay.
And we were in Columbus, and my dad got a call from Cleveland Clinic, and they said they wanted to hire him.
Oh, wow.
So we moved up here, and I finished school up here in Medina County.
Okay.
And, there were such great memories of the first Taco Bell here in Medina, and just little things like that meant everything to a teenager.
Was it where it is now?
No. It was kind of close to where Giant Eagle is now.
Okay.
So, because the Giant Eagle was like the old Kmart.
Yeah, because the city used to kind of stop just past the Medina Shopping Center.
Right.
That's hysterical. So, how long have you been here then?
So, we moved here in 1985.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so a while.
So, how did your dad choose Medina, Ohio to work at the clinic?
Wouldn't you believe it? I mean, he was at the clinic talking to people. We were renting this place in Cleveland, not happy living in Cleveland. And we were in private school, and one day I came home and told my mom I saw somebody broke into an apartment while I was in class in the building next to us, and my mom is just
Where
says
were you
to
going
my dad,
to school?
At a private school up in Cleveland.
All right, enough said.
So my mom's like, we have got to go somewhere. We need to get out of here, And so my dad was asking some of the guys at work, what's a great community that's, commutable, because he had spent almost a year driving from Columbus to the Cleveland Clinic before we moved and got that awful rental.
Wow.
Yeah. So then
that's a hike.
Yeah, they said Medina County. They said that is the place to be.
It's true.
So we loaded up our truck and we moved to Medina.
Just like the Maine, New Hampshire hillbillies.
That's right. That's right.
Very cool. So you ended up here.
Yes.
And then I'm curious, how did you meet your lovely husband? Did you meet him here?
I met him here in the county. So he was born and raised in Lodi. So I knew, I was destined to find somebody who, was born and raised here.
You have to.
Could tell me everything, all the secrets of the community. But no, really, he was born and raised in Lodi, and we were in this group together that played volleyball and did all kinds of fun things. It was just a bunch of singles. And we just kind of got to know each other, and I was doing some research for my degree at the University of Akron where I needed to do some memory testing on people, and for a professor I was working with. And Brad's church group said, you could come on in and you can test us. So I did. And,
fun.
And then the little old ladies at the church, they started doing their magic. You know those little old ladies at churches, what they do? Yeah.
He's a nice boy. He has all his teeth.
Yes, exactly.
What did you study at Akron?
Psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you reading me right now?
I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
It's a short story. It's really a short story. So we were talking before we started that you and the family are really interested in veganism. Yeah. How did that come about?
So my daughter got us started with it, and she just really was doing it because she thought it was better for the environment and more sustainable. And she also just loves animals, period. And she just, she's kind of a person that's do no harm. And so she got us started with it, and my husband decided, I want to support her and start doing this with her. And then he realized he was seeing some really great health benefits from it. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so that was a bonus, and he's really enjoyed it. I'll be honest, I really go half and half. I still really enjoy having meat, and such. And we've got a lot of great meat providers here in Medina County.
We do.
But I also love eating vegan with my family too. Yeah. So it's really fun, and we have a good time cooking together.
We were talking also about Thanksgiving dinner. You're doing an all-vegan Thanksgiving.
Yes, yes.
So my family has literally the same thing every holiday because we can't change. What do you do in place of a turkey?
So there is like a turkey roll that we were able to get at Trader Joe's.
Okay, and it's vegan?
And it's a vegan turkey roll, and it's stuffed with stuffing, and we heard a lot of good news about it. So we are giving it a try this year to see, is all the buzz true, that this thing,
cool.
As we were checking out at Trader Joe's, the guy who was checking us out, he said, last year I loved this so much that we bought 2 for this year. I'm like, okay,
well,
I guess we did all right then.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Interesting. You said you love to travel. What's your favorite place that you've ever visited, other than Medina?
Other than Medina, of course. Right. Yeah, Medina's like the best, obviously, for everything that I need. Especially Honey Bee Bakery, for my vegan food and such.
Yes.
But we're not one of those families that goes to the same place all the time. So we go to a lot of different places, and I guess for me, it's just the next new adventure. What is it can we explore here in the United States? What is it that we can go see? We are planning a trip to Paris.
Nice.
My husband's an artist. He does watercolor and everything, and so we're really excited about seeing the art in Paris.
Yeah. And
just exploring the city and the architecture and the food and everything.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I had the blessing to go there, 12 or 13 years ago. I was an art history major, so I was also all about the architecture and the art. You guys will have a great time. Is that the dream trip?
It
or is that the dream trip this year? And next year
actually it is this year, and then who knows what's going to be for the future.
Okay.
So, but we'd love to do that.
What about cruises?
We're not into cruises. Brad has issues with water. He just, Titanic things.
Oh, well, that's true. No, I think I'm with him. If I could see land, I think it'd be okay. But then you see those videos of like these waves bigger than the ship. And
we're not really into cruises, and nothing against anyone who likes cruises.
Yeah.
But I like to just go explore cities and see things. I think one of our most recent family trips that we had the most fun was Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Really?
Yes. We didn't know that the whole town was like a national park, and it was fascinating.
Okay.
And all the history there, and Al Capone, and you know.
Are there literally little springs all over town?
Yeah, you can actually go up and like fill up a water bottle with the hot springs. So, and there's all kinds of minerals and vitamins, and then you can have a bath in it. So I did the bath, and the whole like works. So the kids all said, "You got to go do this, Mom," but they didn't all want to do it, just me. So I got the bath, the massage, the wrap up and the stuff, and the bath. They come in and they scrub you and everything too. It's a little different.
Did the bath itself feel different?
It didn't, but they had to drink the water too, like not from the bath, but like they had a cup of the water. You drank, and then you bathed, and they scrubbed you, and then you did all these other things that were supposed to be traditionally like healthy.
Did it taste different?
It did have a little bit of a different. I mean, it was weird drinking like hot water without tea or something in it, right? It's just plain hot water. Yeah, so it was very different.
Okay, I'll put that on our list.
You might enjoy it.
I probably would. I like going to. So Brad likes architecture and art. When you go to a new place, what are the things that attract you? What do you like to discover about a city or a destination?
I love food. I really do.
Okay.
So I like to just check out, you know, what's really interesting in that town as far as food goes, and where, you know, what's not the chain stuff as much as just the mom and pop kind of shops and ones that have history and yeah.
Do you have a favorite restaurant? Or if we don't want to single anyone out and show favoritism, what's your default place if you guys are going out to dinner?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you go? What's your general hangout place?
Oh, we love Asian food
Okay.
quite a bit. So my favorite is curry for sure.
Nice.
So love House of Hunan, absolutely. And a second favorite of ours is Basil down in Worcester because they've got such great.
I've heard about that. We've never been there.
So it's really delish.
Yeah. Nice.
The curry's nice.
You how do I get into this? Not in a bad way. No, so one of your hobbies is singing and vocalizing. Is that something that you grew up doing? Is it something that you're pursuing as a hobby? Tell me about that.
I was a really strange kid. So normally
you heard it here first.
Yeah, I know. So I'd go out on the playground, and the other kids would be doing their swinging and games and everything, and I would go out and I would sing. I'd go off by myself, and I would just sing all my.
So you're standing in the corner of the playground, little Edith Piaf singing Levy and Rose, and everyone else is swinging away.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Was your family musical?
My dad sang a lot. Okay. And so, it's always been pretty musical. But singing's always brought me out of the dark. If I was having a dark time, that's kind of my go-to. Right now, I mostly just sing at church, and haven't done much. When I was in college, I did a little stint with the Cleveland Opera, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah.
So is your style more operatic?
Yeah, I would say it's more operatic. Yeah, I'm not too good at pop. It's just all.
It's tough.
A lot of vibrato kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. What about like Broadway show tunes?
I love that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you if you're with opera? Have you performed on stage before? Did you grow up doing theater in high school or anything?
So I did some theater and such in high school, and then when I did the stint with the opera, I got to do a show with them. I didn't sing with them at the show. Ironically, they had me dancing.
And you're a dancer.
And I didn't know I was a dancer. I mean, at first they had me all the way in the back because it was really, really ugly. You wouldn't have wanted to see it.
I'm sure it was not really ugly.
It was very awkward. I'm like, you guys want me to dance? This is not good. So, but eventually, I was just practicing, and eventually my partner, I moved up all the way to the front row.
Nice.
So yeah, they were like, no, you two up here, and I'm like, this is scary.
That's cool.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Do you have a dream role that you would love to do someday?
No, I'm really happy with what I'm doing now. I know. I know that's funny, but yeah, I like just singing in the community.
Yeah.
And just, eventually I'd like to get back into maybe singing in a choral group or something.
Sure. Very cool.
But mostly I just have done solos in such a church and, or sang at a funeral. I think that's a beautiful thing too, just to offer, just to offer music, a gift of music to a family that's hurting, because I think music is also so healing and just wonderful. It kind of
transcends and it's a language everybody speaks.
Yeah.
It's going to resonate with somebody in some way.
Yeah. So, yes, when I was younger, I probably dreamed of being some kind of star, but now I guess I'm just content with being me, Colleen, here in Medina.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's fine.
It's a great segue into, it's more than fine, just for the record. It's a great segue, if I can say the word, into leadership Medina County. So you've been the director for 8 years.
Yeah.
In your position, you have an amazing opportunity. You interact with, 40 to 45 different county leaders every year. You get to travel all over the country, or the county, sometimes the country. Tell me a little bit about that. What does that mean to you? That's a lot to coordinate, and you're responsible for all of it.
Well, I guess I feel really fortunate because I just have so much help. When we're planning the class days, it's not something I just do all by myself. It's not the Colleen show. It's bringing in people from a lot of different perspectives and who have a lot of ideas about maybe what's most important. And so every year our class days may look different, which is nice for me because I need change. If it's monotonous and it's the same all the time, I'm bored too. But I really want the class to get to see and feel what's fresh, what's new, what's happening in the landscape of our community. And so I think that's the fun part about it, is planning each day, looking at that, and trying to put those components together. Because I only get them for 8 to 10 hours that day.
Right.
And then, when it really could take us a whole week or more to really delve into the subject. But you have to kind of compact it in a way that they're going to leave with hopefully 3 things that they're going to go tell everybody about.
True,
And that,
true.
that it also will help them kind of find out what their love is, what their interests are. Maybe they find out that they really love history in Medina County and they want to get back and be a part of, one of the historical societies and get active in that way. Because that's what I want them to do at the end. Our
Get
organization,
involved.
we want them to get involved. We want to educate them about the opportunities and then connect and involve them in their community.
Cool.
So how,
What, in your 8 years, or were you involved with leadership prior to working for them?
Yeah, so I went through in 2008.
Okay.
And then I was still at the health department at that time. And then when the current director decided that they were going to retire, it was really funny. A lot of my leadership friends came up to me and said, nudge, nudge, this would be good for you. You would be good at this.
Oh, cool.
Because they saw that connectedness in me, that I
Yeah.
like to connect with people and do that. And I'm not sure I would have considered it on my own without them. And I think that's also a neat component about Leadership Medina County of how, the people that have gone through are really lifelong friends, and they see things in you and they nudge you when they need to.
That's cool. What was one or two things that surprised you or that you learned about Medina County that you didn't realize? Either in your term as directing this or when you went through in 2008? Right.
I think in 2008, I didn't realize what a regional powerhouse we were. I had a real introduction to it on a regional day that they had, and I had an opportunity to see what other counties were doing and interact with some other county programs. There was special funding for a regional day at that time. That funding has gone by the wayside, unfortunately, and current classes don't get to experience that, but that is something I'd love to bring back.
Cool.
But getting to experience outside of the county and seeing what they were doing, and then when I came as director, going through our Association of Leadership Programs, which is a national group that we're a part of, learning about what's happening in some of the other leadership programs from across the country, I realized how good we really have it here. And how, although every community has some silos, I think we have fewer than most.
Yeah.
We have people, we have more collaboration, we have more people looking at solution-based, ways to improve our community. So we just have a lot of positive things going for us, and I'm really proud of that.
So I guess I didn't realize, or I forgot that it was part of like a national program. How many other leadership programs are there? Thousands?
There's a lot, and
Really?
only some of them are members of this organization. So it's an association where we can come together, share ideas, talk about our programs, share best practices through educational, things at conferences, et cetera.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity for me to pick the brain of hundreds of leaders from across the country, whether I'm at the conference or I just call them up and say, hey, I was on your website and I see you're doing this, tell me more about it.
That's really cool. What do you think the future holds for Leadership Medina County, or where would you like to see the program go? Because I sometimes joke and say my job is like herding cats, trying to get everyone going in the same direction, and you kind of do the same thing, even though you have the different committees and the people going through it. Ultimately, you're trying to get your arms around this just machine of an animal that could go any direction, but yet still be okay.
Yeah.
But what's kind of your focus of what you want people to get out of it?
Well, I truly, first of all, trust our leaders. And my object of what we're doing is not to convince somebody that something's right or wrong, but to give them some information so they can make decisions as a leader of what's best for Medina County.
Yeah, and you're very good at that, by the way.
So we remain very neutral. And so we did bring the LEAD Institute in last year during the pandemic, because that's the best time to start a new program, is during a pandemic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so
blame everything.
Yeah,
on the pandemic.
exactly. So we started that new program, and it's just really gone extremely well. It's met the needs that were called out to us from some HR professionals in the community of getting more leadership training and helping leaders have more tools in their bucket to pull out, which is extremely different than what we do in the Signature program, which is exploring the community.
Right.
We're still learning about leadership, it's just in a different way. We had to let go of Legacy Leaders, which is our older adult program that we did 1 year, but I want to bring it back. So that's something that's coming up again. We're looking for funding right now to bring that back, and that is for people who are retired who may be looking for opportunities to get back in their community and just don't know where to plug in.
Yeah.
And we had extreme success with that. We had 12 participants in the first class.
Fantastic.
And all 12 of them got plugged in somewhere.
Nice.
So
Very
that's
cool.
exactly what
Very
we want to
cool.
see. We
Yeah.
want to see people being able to use their time, treasure, and talents in some way. And so we introduced them to a bunch of nonprofits and gave them an opportunity to learn about their own strengths and then how they could plug those into organizations and give back.
Nice. That's what it's about. That's really awesome. Final question, and this is going to be maybe a little bit hard because you are more of a regional mover and shaker around town. But what's kind of your hit list for when you have guests in town? We got to see this, we got to do this, we got to go here, we got to buy this particular scent of root candle.
Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely go to Root Candle. I've had 4 exchange students
Oh, wow,
over the
cool.
years.
Really?
Okay, so yeah, there's definitely things that we always do with all of the exchange students. I have one, I think, coming back to spend Christmas with us. She's studying in Canada right now, but she's
Yeah.
from Germany. And so we're excited about Ella coming back. So I'm definitely going to probably take her to the igloos at Blue Heron.
Yeah, those look really cool.
Yeah, so we did it last night, and we were talking with her, and she
Yeah.
said, well, can we do this when I come to town? I'm like, of
Oh,
course,
how
of
fun,
course.
how fun.
We always do the Christmas Museum
Okay.
because that's just a huge, huge thing. Definitely root candles. Definitely the squares. You know, we've got some beautiful squares within the community here in Medina. We got one in Wadsworth, the squares.
I know, I'm clapping up. It's true though, like we always talk about the Medina Square, but
Yeah.
we kind of forget every other town
Yeah,
has a square or
yeah.
a gazebo, feels like.
And that's really interesting
Yeah.
to folks who are not from this area who
It's
never grew
such
up
a
in
New England
like
thing.
a hometown kind of thing.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So it's a good thing for sure. And I can't go without mentioning Sweets and Geeks too, because that place is crazy.
It's
and
pretty cool.
everyone that I bring there they love it.
Yeah.
They think it's fantastic. Yeah.
Maybe we should do a tour of the squares. That'd be interesting.
That would be great.
Like a
Yeah.
behind the scenes tour of the squares.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
I lied. I said that was my last question. Your other exchange students, where have they all been from, and how did you get involved with that?
Well, at first, I was a little terrified to ask my husband because I wanted to do it. And I thought, what is he going to say?
Honey.
Yeah. But then I learned something about him. So my husband grew up in a household where his dad was really involved in Rotary. And little
Okay.
did I know,
All right.
and I kind of knew, but I just didn't put 2 and 2 together, but they hosted and hosted and hosted. Like his entire childhood
fun. Yeah.
was hosting. And so when I came to him with this, he's like, yeah, that sounds great. And so
You're like,
there we were.
okay.
Yeah, so we started off with a student from Japan,
Okay.
and then our next student was from Italy, and then we had a student from Germany, and then our most recent one last year during the pandemic, we didn't even think she was going to be able to come,
Oh,
but
yeah.
she came from Belgium.
How cool.
Yeah, so it's been great.
Someday will you get to visit them, do you think? Is
Yeah,
that-
actually the Paris trip, we have a stop in Belgium.
Yeah.
And then I'm already getting grief from the Italy and German student. What about us? Are we chopped liver? So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So I'll sacrifice and go visit them too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do what you got to do.
Exactly.
Awesome. Colleen, thank you so much for sitting down with me today and sharing some of your story.
Of course.
And we look forward to seeing you around town.
Yeah. Thank you
Beautiful.
so much.
Thanks.